Just wanted to hop on real quick and just give a little update here. So, there's not a lot of people saying this, but I'm going to give some understanding to why maybe people like Trump and just different people are doing things. And I think for those who don't know, it's much worse than you could possibly think. For starters, the border issue is not about politics and arrogance and ego. It's about keeping deep state clones and kind of like human doubles from pouring into our nation and running collective energy grids in an attempt to uh, establish themselves with the dark. And there's a whole bunch of human trafficking and other stuff that takes place um, with the whole border issue and Biden bringing in millions. I mean, they were just literally having people come up, giving them lunch and bringing them through. It was ridiculous. I mean, there was no government efficiency, but um, this government efficiency is so important. So I would kind of like advise people to not just jump on the bandwagon and start yelling and getting angry. Investigate everything because we should all be unified. There's another, if you want to say, enemy here, and it doesn't help us to like fight each other. So there's been a long, many multi-year um, negative force through the deep state that's been infiltrating and penetrating our United States, all within parts of government, except now that Trump came in, it's a little better, a lot better. But people losing their lives and stuff and crimes against humanity that shouldn't be people shouldn't have to go through those things. So just to be clear, parts of the I think the US aid or whomever Trump and Elon dug some corruption up on has been paying news media broadcast stations to censor what they're putting out there. This was on the news yesterday. And they're also kind of what they were trying to do and what they were doing is basically securing a narrative, but doing it so sly that people who think they were just watching like credible news were being fed nonsense. I'm not judging, but I'm just letting you know. And the border was an issue, and partially because so many people are afraid to speak. If this is your first time hearing this, there's so much that's been going on in this planet that I think for the most part many people don't know. So you can either maybe hear it from me or hear it another way, but it's coming. It's not going to stop. The first thing you need to understand is that we've had a space force for a long time with high grade, high level technology. It first started out as the Dark Fleet, part of Hitler's crew. You know what I'm saying? And that's where this went kind of dark because people think we won the World War II. I mean, some people say they won. I mean, whatever. They just left. I mean, they went out off planet. They have an off planet colony. There's a whole world of stuff going on, and you're not even aware about it. There's people, mostly elites and millionaires, that have been jumping on ships and going off planet for the past 4 years, trying to start colonies, living the life and exploring and doing all that while people slave work. And you know, that's a huge problem. that everyone's trying to fix. They're trying to fix it through this disclosure because the truth is really what needs to be brought forward. Even people don't agree with it, at least hear it. Give yourself a chance to even pick the truth. Because if you haven't even heard the truth, what are you going to do? So things are good now. The light won, but we're kind of cleaning out the remnants. And so you need to understand that, there are the whole ET thing has been twisted and kind of like fed to you by deep state agents or, you know, misinformation agents, disinformation agents, getting people scared of the ETs, and people don't even have the ability to even receive real information or knowledge about what's going on out there. And I'll tell you this much: you can find your answers to everything on the internet. You just have to know how to find it. But it is all there. There's nothing really like being hidden, It's there for those who want to know the truth. So, um, you know, you need to get clarity on what an extraterrestrial is because you are one. I mean, you don't come from like just apes and stuff. You are descendants of stellar races from advanced civilizations and other planets and universes. That we were part of an experiment here that God, source creator, asked us to do, and it was an experiment in free will and an experiment in other things. So, um, it got way bad. It went bad. It didn't go good. But there's some of us still out here doing it and standing. So we're kind of rounding the final part of this, multi-million year mission or something like that. But people just need to realize kind of what exactly is going on. There were a lot of deep state factions that were running programs through race and gender, societal charges, or um, societal, maybe they're egregores, I don't know. Just, things people believe in, their beliefs and things they feel they stand for. And they were just pumping people and the masses and society with so much nonsense to get people to buy into these narratives. And, right now is a time when people really need to like see through illusion and stay true to the heart and core of yourself because everyone has a massive ability to help this whole universe out. So, you know, we share this planet with other beings. There's cavities inside the earth. It's called inner earth. I actually know a lot of the history, but it was created long, long time ago, millions of years ago. The Pleiadians actually created the cavities in the inner earth. And so the Pleiadians have actually been, you know, trying to help us through this ascension period. We're in the middle of an ascension. It's a planetary ascension. And there's a lot of like solar activity and cosmic waves and just intense things going on right now. And positive things, we're about to be moving into a first contact scenario. We're going to be a part of a galactic community. It's going to be really, really cool. I mean, this is real. I can almost say I'm one that's, interacted with someone who's like from there, and it's a trip to meet or even hear or see a more evolved person that you never even thought about that way before. It'll blow your mind how smart or how much smarter some of these other humanoids or beings are. They just, they didn't maybe have uh, some negative force trying to enslave them as they were learning everything like us, giving us the opposite truth. But borders need to be sealed and tightened up. The security everywhere in the government and places of power needs to be tightened up. Get away from the UN. That's a deep state fucking stronghold. Um, get independent, get armed, and get ready and keep yourself together. No violence. Just be ready for whatever you feel you need to do to make this. Um, people are calling it a revolution take place, but it's really a reconstitution and a liberation. And man, uh, so the deep state also has tentacles connected through different factions of cartels and mafia and stuff like that. And so that was also a lot of stuff that was kind of coming through the borders. And you know the, the previous president was not even a human, man. He was a clone. And for those who don't think this is nonsense, well, it's not. They're clones. I mean, we can actually make clones the way we know, but that's not how that gets made. That's incredibly high technology and intelligence. But they've been around for a long time. So the cabal is essentially a group of beings that live in the 3.5 dimensional space, which is around the vibration of inner Earth, and maybe the fourth dimension. And they, so why they call the deep state the deep state? Because that's actually been around for a long time. They live in the deep part of the state, so deep it's in another half of a dimension higher than what we even see. And they, you know, people call them the controllers, but they've been controlling and I think running this like kind of uh, circus and zoo down here for 10,000 years. And it got the worst in the last like from 2014 to 2021. I mean, people were just happy to be told what to do and not make a choice. It was ridiculous, but we brought it back. So these beings essentially feed off of low vibrations, anger, hate, fear, energies of terror. I mean that's their food. They look at us as food because you know I think some of them do maybe eat a human here and there, but they're more about getting the energies. It's kind of like a drug for them. But that's why everything is geared toward disempowerment on this planet. It's all it's literally like you're born and imagine being born into like a funnel here, right? And so you're born into this funnel of everything coming in, funneling in as you're born. Well, this funnel is completely off, and the real funnel is the opposite. It's like this. So instead, reacclimate yourself to the truth. You're told you're gonna die. You're told all this nonsense about health. We have to be intelligent. You got to be your own doctors, man. You can't just do what the other person tells you what to do. Uh, you know, I would say that Darwin's theory of evolution would say the strongest ones will survive, and those who aren't going to make choices for themselves, they're not going to make it past the next round of vibration upgrades. So, I forgot what I was even saying. The deep state, 3.5. So they orchestrate massive um, global or nationwide public um, kind of manipulated and controlled events for the purpose of um, feeding their agenda. And they use the money as a means of uh, really controlling people. And then on top of it, they're shady. So they're not even doing what they're saying. They're doing shady things and pocketing money. So, I mean, that's why Trump is shutting down on the entire federal And all the organizations he's targeting are organizations that were overrun with dark forces, deep state, interference and members. And this is like real serious, man. I mean, they are, I think, with Dr. Greer's lawyer, they're being charged for mass murder and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, you know, if there's one person who's kind of like a double agent, I mean, you got to look at that person a certain kind of way, and you got to kind of have the intention to want to put that person in Gitmo or kick them off the planet. You know what I'm saying? Because they have no uh, kind thoughts for you. They do not care about you. They see you as a piece of cattle. So that's what's going on here. So you got this kind of like shadow hand of like negative ETs, and there's a whole history to the ETs as well that you need to know so you can really be educated and not just do what everyone is trying to get you to do. But so there's this negative faction that's basically just feeding off of the ignorance of the human beings and a couple other things, and they it's not like they're just doing that. They started killing off parts of the population. They were culling the population over a year or two. They had this killing plan of how they were going to lower the population. And this is the Economic World Forum or whomever those clowns are. But anyways, we have been here, you know, or whatever you want to call us, the awakened team, whatever, um, anchoring the things that need to be anchored so that the planet can go on with its ascension, and so can humanity and the collective. And those who don't want it, they don't have to go. And we're raising the frequency so high, these beings can't even be in the space anymore.